Okay. If they said thank you or get lost, let it go. If they said, well, how much does that equal?
Right.
I'd say,
Yeah.
well, you know, it's slow right now. John Tabor, this is John Tabor's outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Insulated Wall Systems. Got 22 homes in your subdivision done, which would be true.
Mm-hmm.
I got them all.
Right.
We've done 22 houses in your subdivision. This is John Tabor's outfit. It's a little slow right now. John's giving me a couple of installers. I got them out measuring. I'll get one of them by, measure up, get it back to me. I'll give you a call with some good news. Really low-key. It's a step at a time. And I had the whole program.
Is that pretty much all you did was siding stuff? You didn't do anything other than that?
Well, we did the windows too, but I didn't concentrate on windows. Some people make a lot of money on windows, but Tabor can't sell, so he couldn't make any money on windows.
The gear, I'm bouncing around a little bit. The gear that you had, a lot of the gear that you had was real high-end, like REI, North Face, real high-dollar stuff.
Oh, yeah.
How did you come across that kind of stuff?
Quality is a necessity.
Right. I agree with you 100% on that.
So what I came out of my years on 11th Street there. I had the 3 phones, and I had some good years there. I was drinking, but I was successful in hiring new crews of people. When I say crew, 2 people. 4 times a year. So I came out money ahead on that. And so one of the reasons though I did it is that in the early 90s, I started wanting to be a guide at an outfitter. And so I started accumulating, buying. I had a North Face rep. At the time, North Face that's the really high end.
Right.
And notice you had some of those mountain lights. Those are good jackets.
I got 3 of them.
Yeah.
I got 2 in medium and 1 in large.
Those are good jackets.
Did you see, I got 4 North Face bags.
Yeah,
2 of them are,
meow and
well, actually 3 of them are cast meow. 1 has a thermostat lining in it, insulator, and a snowshoe.
And the snowshoes are nice. I got a snowshoe.
Yeah, it's a +5. Yeah. 2 of them were for the dog. 2 of the cast meows were for the dog. You carry 2 for the dog because they're subject to getting wet. They dry in a flash, but nevertheless. And that's why the girl wasn't cold. She had, I was telling you, she was cooperating with me.
But that wasn't some kind of, to get the REI stuff and to get the North Face stuff, that wasn't some kind of scam that you had gotten to do that.
No. Oh, well, here's the thing. I got the North Face rep. At that time, in the early 90s, North Face in the Southeast was distributed by a manufacturer's rep company, and it was a guy's name, like the Frank Jones Company. And this guy had North Face. He distributed North Face, and he distributed Red Wing shoes and boots. You know that brand. And I think he had some other brand, top brands. And he had the Southeast. He's the one that distributed North Face. And he would send his guys out to the different stores. This is even before REI opened. And well, a lot of these stores didn't exist after REI opened. You had a lot of them around town until REI opened. And so they would go out and demonstrate Gore-Tex and show people actual samples of Gore-Tex. And
3-ply, 4-ply, all that.
2-layer and 3-layer, and 1-layer, and so forth. So I met one of these guys doing it, and I bought some stuff off of him. I bought a Bigfoot, -5-degree bag. Yeah. I bought a Bigfoot from him and some other stuff, and got to know him. And he was coming up with North Face stuff that was heavily discounted. At the time, North Face was having in their clothing of this era, North Face was having a quality control problem, big time in their clothing.
That's when they stepped up and started mass producing.
Big time. I got a jacket from him one time, a Mountain Light jacket. That Mountain Light, eventually $335. Yeah, I don't know what they cost now. You notice I had a Denali jacket in there too. Yeah.
Denali's are awesome.
Yeah.
The reason I'm asking you about this, what's the guy's name that you talked to?
Walter.
what's his last name?
Goddard?
Goddard. Walter Goddard.
Uh-huh.
You used to work with him at a chemical outfit or something, chemical plant.
I gave him some stuff.
Is that the chem plant you were talking about? That's where you met him at? Okay. He had made mention that you had some sort of scam with REI, you know, when we talked to him. And like I said, we're not here to prosecute you.
Oh, no,
Shit
no.
like that. You know what I mean?
No, what I did.
We're trying to figure out how, you know, how all this came to be.
Yeah, well, first of all, with the REI, I'll go over that, but with the North Face stuff, he would come up with this stuff, and I have a feeling that it was returns, because I got a mountain light jacket from him one time. You know, they have the North Face label right inside there, right on top.
Right.
The North Face with a Cascade.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was sewn in upside down.
Oh, wow.
The North Face the label was sewn in upside down.
So, like, showroom rejects or something like that?
I have a feeling that's what it was.
What's this guy's name? That you?
This is over 10 years ago.
Well, I mean, you had some new nice
that was
stuff.
the new model.
Oh,
of
no,
the,
no.
Mountain light, the
No.
green one.
No.
What about the jackets?
All that stuff is going on 15 years old.
The
Well,
jackets and stuff? Or-
Yes. I don't wear it that much.
No,
The
okay.
good ones.
Okay.
No, if you got plenty of it, it doesn't wear.
Right.
Oh, I don't have a piece of equipment except for socks. I don't have in water bottles. I don't have a single piece of equipment that's newer than 13 years. Nothing. No clothing. Nothing. Nothing.
So what did you have
I'm
going
telling
on
you,
there?
that stuff lasts forever. The thing that'll kill it faster than anything is sun. No, all of my microfiber pants, the newest any of those is 94, and some go back to 90. But I had plenty of pairs of them. The shirts, the Sonoma shirts, again, I don't have a single piece of equipment. None. I don't have a single piece of equipment or clothing. John Tabor gave me a red Columbia pullover. That's newer. He gave that to me. I don't have a single piece of clothing or equipment that's newer than 1994.
That red North Face jacket and that blue North Face jacket, they look brand new.
Yeah, the green one?
Hey, son, go get yourself some quality and you'll see. Okay? But the thing is, I have other parkas too.
Right.
And frankly, most of the years I had those, I tended to save those for town use rather than field use. You know what I mean? And there's two reasons for that. Is of course it has the cachet, the stratospheric prices, with the logo. Yuppies love that. You see them walking around with their Denali. So a Denali
just never been in the woods type thing?
Yeah, exactly. And another reason though is that even though it's worth it, your North Face mountain light jackets will be almost a full half-pound heavier than an REI.
Right.
Switchback parka, for instance. Okay.
They're 2-ply, I think, and then aren't the mountain
they're
3-ply?
No, these are called layers. And no, you've got 1 layer, 2 layer, and 3 layer. Okay. 1 layer is where the Gore-Tex is bonded right to the outer nylon. It may be lined, and it usually is, but it's called 1 layer. Okay. 2 layer is where the Gore-Tex is not bonded to the outer one. So you have 1, 2, and then you have a net inside of it, which is a 3rd layer. It's not counted as a layer. That's 2 layer. Okay. 3 layer is where you have the outer fabric, the Gore-Tex not bonded to it, and then lined with a taffeta type lining. That's 3 layer. So actually 2 layer has 3 layers, but the net mesh is not counted as a layer. Okay. 1 layer has 2 layers, but the lining is not counted.
Right.
And one of the
Because
significant...
it doesn't supply any, like, water protection, correct? Is that the reason why it's not counted, or?
What?
It's not, it doesn't have any, like, it's not waterproof?
Yes, it is. It's just bonded
The net.
directly to the... Oh, I see that. I don't know why, but that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. That's the construction of them. In other words, bonded directly to the outer fiber, one layer. Not just suspended, more or less, two layer, regardless of whether you have a net, mesh, or not. And then if you have a full lining inside of it, a cloth lining of a taffeta type, silky type, usually polyester taffeta, that's 3 layer. Okay. But anyway, to make a long story short, another reason I didn't field use my mountain lights very much is that you'll find an REI parka, you'll find a highly technical REI parka, which is, I think it's called a switchback. It's got full zips here, it's got a detachable hood, beautiful thing. Weigh it. You'll find that it weighs about 15 or 14 ounces. Weigh the mountain light. It's 1.5 pounds. Now, you get, it's worth it. It's worth it for expeditionary use. Okay.
For the short term.
It is, but just for like a day hike, and very little of my stuff is really multi-day trips. It's mostly power hiking on day hikes. I don't like to carry backpacking loads. I told you, it's injurious. You injure yourself.
Injuries and...
Oh yeah, you mess yourself up, man. You do. You get big toes out of joint, knees, and so that's really the thing. It's just a 1/2 pound is significant. Backpackers have a saying, ounces count. Well, that's not quite true. But 1/4 pounds and 1/2 pound, they start counting. Ounces don't count. Ounces don't count in that you can carry 16 things that weigh an ounce that you don't really need, and it's only 1 pound. 16 of them. But if something weighs 1/4 pound and you start carrying a bunch of that you don't need, it adds up real quick. So, in other words, my philosophy is if something only weighs an ounce, you really need it, and it's subject to loss. Carry 2 of them.
The only reason I ask about that is, like I said, Goddard.
Oh no, I was
we
kidding.
interviewed him. He talked about the fact that you had some kind of scam going with REI.
No, he was mistaking that with the North Face rep.
Okay.
But no, but then starting in early 90s, I wanted to be a guide and an outfitter. In other words, not so much a guide, but a backpacking school.
Right.
Teaching people equipment and materials and technical walking.
Right.
Along with that, I've got a technical walking system just like I have a stick fighting system.
Right.
And really teaching them that rather than guiding them per se.
Right.
And outfitting them with the good stuff.
Right.
Okay? And so I bought out a hiking club, or a guy that said he had a hiking club. It had been in storage. He said it was an industry-sponsored hiking club. This was in the early 90s. That didn't go nowhere, and he said it's really because he didn't put any time, and it was supposed to be to educate people in the equipment and create demand.
Right.
Okay. So I bought that out, and I just bought a lot of stuff on my own, too, for me, also. And I use both medium and large, also. So I had to come up with some small, and I had extra backpacks, too, also, which I just threw away. I actually had those. I just threw them away when I left Tabor's.
Goddard also said that you had a telemarketing thing that primarily you liked talking with hairdressers about. Is that?
No. Back in the days when I was running my fraud, unlawful charity.
Right.
And by the way, that's what I fell on in '95.
Right.
It was a charge of unlawful therapy and also a theft charge that wasn't related to that at all. I started working for this book display company. It became disgruntled and stole stock. But I considered it a credit issue rather than a theft issue, but hey, it wasn't seen that way. But anyway, I took my fall on the unlawful charity in '95. I'd actually quit it in '93. They got a grand jury in '94, January of '94, when that Dekalb County grand jury got 19 complainants and 23 counts. Total damage, $540. Okay, which I did on restitution. Yeah, it was $5 and $10. Okay, but by unlawful charity, any count is a felony.
Right.
Okay. At that time, they got the indictment, and they set the Superior Court set a $25,000 bond on me. That went January of '94. And then April of '95, I was arrested on that warrant. Took my fall, pled it out, 5 years probation, restitution of $540, pled to theft charge out, restitution $5,600, concurrent 5-year probation, did the restitution and did the probation.